Alright guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about Blue Box Game Studios once again, and we're going to be focusing on the abandoned real-time experience app that is currently available on the PlayStation 5. I know that to some people this feels a little bit redundant. They've been saying to me, why are you talking about this so much? Why are you covering it so much? Well, I feel as though today we definitely have to take some time to cover it because tomorrow, August 10th, there is supposed to be a teaser of some sort that is officially released on this abandoned real-time experience app. And so what I thought we would do is go over some of the latest information. There was another tweet by Blue Box Game Studios, and on top of that, Hasan Kahraman gave an interview where he talked more about the game and what we can expect. And that's kind of what I want this video to be, just us kind of talking about our expectations, worst case scenario, best case scenario, what exactly are we expecting to happen tomorrow? So that's what we'll be doing in this video. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you do enjoy this content. It really does help it out more than you know. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. But as you can see, we're over here on the official Blue Box Game Studios Twitter account. And if we scroll down, there is the latest tweet from Blue Box where they said 15 hours ago, as of the time of this recording, access to the real-time experience app is closing in with an opening teaser as an introduction. You'll get a glimpse to what you see is what you play, along with some announcements to look out for. See you on August 10th. So they're setting this up, clearly letting us know that something's going to happen tomorrow. And what they're claiming is that this is going to be a glimpse. So what we have to understand what that is, it's going to be small. It's going to be a teaser. It's going to be just a small glimpse. And the most interesting aspect of this tweet, in my opinion, well, there's two. The first is in, parentheses here, or quotations, I mean, what you see is what you play. So they're not kidding about this real-time experience. Whatever we see is exactly what we're going to play. I still feel like there's something about this that just says to me this has to do with upcoming events and upcoming trailers. I just find it so odd that this is for one specific game. Very well could be, though. But it also says along with some announcements to look out for. So clearly they're telling us that tomorrow this is kind of when everything kicks off. And then after that, we're going to get more announcements and whatnot. So that's what they're saying over on their official Twitter account. And then if we actually go to Hassan's account here, he was responding to some questions that some individuals had. So this person says, has it been decided what time the app will launch, or will you reveal that tomorrow? He says you'll get a notification on Tuesday on your PS5 or check with us on Twitter. So we're going to want to look out for that. And somebody here was asking, like, is this actually an open world game? You know, they're apologizing for asking so many questions. They're really hyped for this. And Hassan says, stay tuned for this. And it seems like that's just been the recurring theme with this, is we have to stay tuned and wait and wait and wait. Definitely keeping us waiting. And he talked a little bit here about his excitement for the tease that they have ready for us tomorrow. He says, feeling very excited to tease what we've got for all of you. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Again, we're going to go over an interview that was conducted with Hassan. And it's just, I don't feel like we learned too much from this interview, but there's definitely some weird red flags within this interview. Just some, anyway, but just some weird stuff going on with it. So we're gonna go over to that now and talk about this interview. Let me bring it up here. So this is with Alhub, I think that's how you say, and it says interview with Hasan Karaman and exclusive information about Abandoned, not entirely a horror game. So yeah, this is just throwing people for a loop here, but let's read a little bit of what's being said here. So we were able to interview director Hasan Kahraman, whose game, which was announced last April, caused a sensation, abandon. And so this is all translated, by the way, so it might not be like 100% accurate. Through this interview, it became clear to us that this project is indeed an interesting project in terms of technical aspects, according to his words. Developer and head of Blue Box Game Studio. We will quote interesting excerpts from our interview with Hasan Kahraman. So the first question they ask Hasan is, tell us about the beginning of your dealings with Sony PlayStation and the past of the Blue Box Studio. Hasan says, in the past, we've been working on smaller games and we've done some outside help as well, sourcing from other studios. And in 2015, we worked on Rewind, Voices from the Past, which was exclusive to PS4 and also targeted at PC, and we pitched the project to Sony and then started working with them. The project was canceled a year later. This is how we partnered with Sony. Maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm just that crazy guy, but I read this and I'm like, this is weird. Even just right out of the gate, this doesn't make much sense to me. So they're saying, you know, obviously they had past work. They talk about Rewind, Voices from the Past, which was exclusive to PS4 and also targeted PC. We pitched the project to Sony and then started working with them. So they're saying that they had ties with Sony in the past. And then the project was canceled a year later. This is how we partnered with Sony? It just doesn't add up. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Where it's like you're saying that you pitched a project and it was exclusive, you started working on it, then that project got canceled, and then that's how you got partnered with Sony. It's really strange. I mean, maybe it's just the translation. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't explained very well. But that, in my opinion, like that doesn't make much sense, and that doesn't clarify anything really at all. But let's move on to the next question. Why did you choose the program method and the real life experience instead of the regular trailer? So they're basically asking, like, why are you doing this app, this real-time experience app? Why not just do a regular trailer? And this response is very interesting. Hasan says, as an indie game developer, you have a fixed budget, so you can't spend a lot of money on a trailer. So I decided to do the real-time experience, an app that works on PS5 so people can experience the real-time graphics as well as the technical side of it, like 4K 60 FPS resolution. They will get to know what the game looks like and how it looks better. So again, like, this is the second question and there's a red flag. Like, what? I just need to get this straight. He's saying that because they have a fixed budget, because, you know, they are a small indie studio, they don't have a lot of money for a trailer. So just to let you know, like, they're basically saying that it's less expensive for them to put this application, this real-time experience application on the PS5 to showcase the game that way. It's less expensive for them to do that than it would be to just make a trailer, to just edit a trailer from their own footage and upload it to YouTube. Let that sink in for a moment. Let's move on to the next question, though. They say, did the rumors that Hideo Kojima have an affair with the game or that Abandoned is the upcoming Silent Hill put any pressure on the studio? Hasan says, you have no idea. It was really crazy and had a negative effect even on the development process with a lot of distractions. But I'm sure people will really like Abandoned. We believe in the game, and I still think people will like it. So this right here is what gets a lot of people, where they're like, wow, I guess this really is an indie dev, and they have no association with Kojima. And they might not. They might not, but they're saying that it had a negative effect. Now, I want to tell you, as somebody who has believed for quite some time that this is an ARG, this response, more than anything else, is what makes me a little bit nervous. Mainly, not nervous, but it makes me feel like, you know, if this is a Kojima ARG, and this is Silent Hill, it's weird, in my opinion. Plausible, but weird and risky, in my opinion, that they would allow, assuming that Hasan is like an actor or something. We don't know. You know, some people believe he's an actor. Maybe he's really an indie dev. He's playing a part. It's weird and risky to me that they would allow him to say things like this, right? I mean, you could say, well, they're going to let him say stuff like that because they don't want people to believe it's Kojima. They don't want people to believe it's Silent Hill. But it gets scary because it's like, well, I mean, what if it's not? What if what he's saying right here is 100% true, that this put a lot of pressure on them? But here's the thing about it. Here is the thing about what's being said here. He's saying this, and it's easy to be like, yeah, that sucks, man. I feel for you. But a lot of people are also going to turn around and be like, dude, you kind of did it to yourself with the SNL tweet and then the eye patch tweet and liking people's comments that are saying thanks Hideo Kojima, and it's like the point is there's a duality to this. Sorry, I getting flustered here because it's just like there's always something with this. There's a duality to this. The duality is, on one side, they have made it clear we're not Konami, this isn't Silent Hill, we have no association with Kojima. And then the other side is they keep stoking the flame. They keep stoking the fire and growing it. And so it's like, I don't understand, but it's important to note, just want to say, Hasan does not mention Kojima at all. He doesn't say he's not Kojima or not associated with him. He just says it had a negative effect on the process. It's been crazy and it's been distracting. But he also goes on to say, I think that we will really like Abandoned. They still believe in it. They still believe people will like it. So still, again, that's a recurring theme we've seen with this studio, is regardless of how much negativity is thrown their way based off of some of the things they may do, they're always very confident, saying, yep, you guys are going to love it. So the next question is, what is the way to play Abandoned? Is it a shooting game or a horror game? Now, this one kind of got people like really flustered. Says, good, Abandoned is a first-person shooter, but in a realistic environment with some horror elements as well. But it's not quite a horror game like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, but there are horrifying scenes in it. The game has realistic game interactions, and this is a system that we created ourselves, which is basically the way you interact with other characters, and the world looks very realistic. And we've created an advanced motion capture system. So, I mean, there have been other indie developers that have used advanced motion capture, like, you think of Ninja Theory and whatnot, but still, it's like, this isn't, like, Ninja Theory is an established studio that you know about. No one knows who this studio is, but yet they have access to advanced motion capture technology. Okay. Goes on to say, the way you shoot is different and not like Call of Duty. It's realistically slow. For example, there is no HUD, but there are movements of the character through which she can communicate with the player. So if you want to check your ammo, you have to do a manual ammo check. And if your weapon is empty, you'll feel it through the haptic feedback and hear the sound of metal through the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. And then they say here, what can you tell us as an exclusive news about the game? So basically, I want to make it known real quick here too. If you look here, this response that they gave to the way you play Abandoned, it just says good. It doesn't say Hasan. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's just a typo or something. But apparently this question they're asking now, the final question, is they want some exclusive information about Abandoned. And I don't blame him. I mean, you got an interview. So Hasan says, I can't reveal much about the game, but I can say that it takes place in a deserted place in America, and that place. Long live a community, a sect. Look, I mean, I've seen people pointing to this interview and they're like, well, we finally have our answers. And I'm like, I don't know what interview you guys are reading. I don't have any this didn't do anything whatsoever. This just continues to make things more confusing, right? And so the timing of it is also interesting because we have this app that's coming tomorrow, or at least an update to it, where we're going to get our first teaser. And so I kind of want to shift gears here for a moment and talk about my expectations. Okay, I need to emphasize my expectations because you are free to decide for yourself what you want to expect. My recommendation to you is expect literally anything. And I think at this point, if you've been following this long, you probably already have that expectation. But what I'm expecting tomorrow is simple. I'm expecting something. I know that sounds crazy, right? Like that's a wild expectation, but what I mean by that is I'm expecting something that will be just enough to keep people on the hook, to keep people engaged with whatever this is, to keep it going. But I think, and I could be wrong, I think it's going to have to be something relatively significant, because we've seen the tease of, SNL, what starts with S and ends with L, that's what Abandoned is. We've seen the Metal Gear tease with the eye patch. And these are all things that have kept people invested and engaged and on the hook, but also frustrating a lot of people. I think this is going to have to take it up a notch, where I am not expecting, and this is where I'll tell you what I'm not expecting, a full reveal of any kind. They make that clear. They're making it clear that you're not going to get all your answers. You're going to get a teaser. You're going to get a glimpse. And I feel like this glimpse should be, if this really is an ARG, okay, in my opinion, if this really is a big ruse and Kojima's involved and Konami and Sony and it's Silent Hill and Metal Gear and whatnot, I really believe that it's going to have to be something kind of significant. Like, just enough where it's like, it's going to make people be like, oh, what is this? What is going on here? And just get people interested and intrigued. And if they do something that gets people angry and upset, at that point, I'm not saying I'm going to give up completely, because obviously I'm going to see this through to the end at this point. But at that point, I will be pretty convinced that, yeah, this isn't what we think it is. I say that because it at that point, I just don't know what the end game is. If they do something tomorrow with this app where they come out and it's like, it just seems like a big troll and everybody's like, what? And like it just basically what I'm saying. And I guess just to kind of get to the point of all this, I feel like we're at an inflection point right now with this whole thing, where whatever happens tomorrow is going to determine for a lot of people whether or not this is really what we think it is, or it's just going to make a lot of people who currently believe not believe and suddenly be like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. And I guess I just feel like this has been going on for so long that if this really is something, if there's really somebody behind this pulling the strings, it wouldn't make sense to me, even as somebody who's following this so closely. It wouldn't make any sense to me to leave people feeling angry, frustrated, and basically just completely deflated. Because if this is an ARG, if this is a marketing ploy, again, if that's your intent, I don't know what your end game is. I don't know what you're trying to achieve. And it's more likely at that point that if that is what we get, I'm just going to be like, okay, this really is somehow an indie dev that's just, yanking everybody's chain and just taking everybody for a ride. So, I read through this. A lot of people are looking at this. They're like, I thought this was a horror game. That's what it was described as. Now it's like not just a horror game. It's a shooter. And something that other people were pointing out that I do want to mention as well is they keep saying, like, why is Hassan, every single time he talks about this game, Abandoned, he says the same things about it. He has not revealed anything new whatsoever. Right? I mean, he went on his Twitter a couple days ago and he's talking about his tree pipeline, making it sound like that's the big question everybody has. And then people are asking, well, is this forest section going to be in the game? And he says no. So it's like, what is going on here? So I guess just to kind of let you guys know what I'm expecting tomorrow, and just to kind of, summarize this entire video. It sounds like we're going to get a glimpse as to whatever this actually is. And I don't know what's going to happen after that, other than they're just letting us know, hey, there will be more announcements that happen and that come up. And so, yeah, I'm going to stream it tomorrow, obviously. I'll stream it. I don't know what time that's going to be, because I don't know when this is going to drop, but I'll try to stream it. Depending on what it is, I'll either stream it from my PS5 or I'll just stream it here on the channel. It depends. But my hope is that we learn something. That's my hope. That's not necessarily my expectation. My expectation is I think we're going to get either something that keeps us on the hook firmly, like, okay, we still believe, and like there's definitely something going on here. We get something that just, fans the flames more so than anything we've gotten so far, or we're going to get nothing. And we're all just basically gonna walk away from this. That's my thing, because I've been reading people's comments, I've been engaging with people, and what I can tell is people are getting tired to the point where even if this is Silent Hill, even if this is Kojima, people are like, I can't go on. I can't take it anymore. Please just let it end. And so that's why I firmly believe that tomorrow is going to be the inflection point. We're gonna find something out, even if we get nothing. In my opinion, through that nothingness, we will find something out. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Be sure to leave all of your thoughts down in the comments below. I will be interested to see what you have to say. Leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.